So we're with Megan Brown again. We talked to you in February in Boston, and that went pretty well. Second place today, first place, so Canadian champion in the half marathon.
Yeah.
So I think we discussed that in Boston. That was part of the plan, and you've achieved that. So how did you do it?
So today when we woke up, actually when we got here and got a sense of the weather, realized that it wasn't going to be a day for running fast at all. I actually had no idea how bad it actually was until I got out there in the midst of the race. So the goal was just to race, obviously, to get after the victory. And so Dana and I actually worked together pretty well. It was kind of a head-to-head race until about 12K. I was really just, it was kind of like a fartlek, not a fartlek, but you really had to work with the conditions today, so I tried to tuck in, when we hit a lot of the tougher parts of the race into the wind, I always had guys around to work with, and then tried to really push the with the wind stretches, so I felt like it was a lot of kind of like a fartlek, but yeah, I felt strong the entire way. With about 5K to go, I knew I had it in the bag, so I tried to just focus on, you know, stretching the margin a little bit, and yeah, the final 12K was terrible. It was like right into the wind, and I was hurting bad, but yeah, overall it was good.
Okay, that's good. So, have you raced between Boston and now, or was this?
Yeah, actually, I went down to Jacksonville and raced a competitive 15K, and that was kind of a breakthrough race for me with the longer distances. I came 5th in their championship, so it was good, and it was kind of indicating that I was, you know, ready for a pretty fast half. We thought I, on a perfect day, could have run the Canadian record today, just based on how training had gone. So I ran 1:14, which shows you how bad the conditions actually were.
The Canadian record is
1:12.
1:12.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was going to take a perfect day, and today was far from that. So.
Okay, and what's happening next?
So yeah, I'm going to take all this strength and take it to the track. Actually, I'm going to take one stop to Ottawa and do a 10K on the roads. I actually think I'm in very good 10K shape right now, and then from there bring it down and focus on speed. And I want to really run a fast 5,000 this summer. So I just, the main goal is to really work a lot of range this year.
Okay, and then with the long-term goal of a marathon, but we're not sure when, right?
Not sure when. Hugh says we have a lot of decisions to make, so today gave me a little bit of a taste, but I certainly want to run much faster in the half before I think about the full.
Okay, and tell us a bit about the kind of training that you're doing to prepare for this, these longer distances.
Well, I tried to really to kind of fast track morphing into a long distance runner, so I ran decent mileage. I wouldn't call it that high, maybe 95. I averaged about 95 miles a week, and we did a lot of longer workouts, like 16K of volume of intervals and stuff. A lot of just threshold work. Hugh likes to do a lot of like threshold intervals. You know, so I really I learned how to run on tired legs. I got a lot of that kind of experience as we, you know, worked through those longer workouts. And then as we got closer to the race, you know, about 8 weeks out, we focused on some more turnover and stuff. So I felt really prepared. Like, I really feel like I'm in shape to run a lot of different distances right now. But it definitely took a lot of grinding for a lot of weeks to get to the point where I feel, you know, ready to race a lot of different stuff. So,
so I'm going to ask you something about racing. It seems like, so you mentioned there were 3 races you did since January, Boston 5K, 15K, and this one. So some people might say that's not a lot of racing. What's your thought on that? And then like with you and Dave and Hugh, how do you guys approach racing as, you know, part of the training and part of the goal?
I think for the longer distances, the racing becomes a little bit less important than big chunks of training. We train at a pretty high quality, and so I got a lot. The adaptations that we were looking for, I was actually getting a lot out of training, and so the racing was really just to keep things sharp. So the 5K was really, it was hard to find a race in Ontario in the middle of winter, so the 5K was like, we might as well do it. A little bit of turnover there, and surprised myself with running a bit faster than I thought I could. And then the choice of the Jacksonville 15K was to run a very competitive, longer race where I didn't really have to think about time and I could just race with a no-pressure environment. So we chose that race a bit strategically. And then it was kind of the question of whether to choose a race as a tune-up before this, but because I have guys to train with, we were able to set up kind of like a time trial environment. So, you know, Hugh really likes to get into a really good rhythm with training, and if we were stale and we felt we needed something, we would, but training was coming along so well that we thought, you know what, I think this is the best way to prepare. So you know, and I know for the marathon, it's a lot of the the decisions to be made of how much to race and how little to race and how much training do you need. And I think it's just something you fine tune, and I think it's probably different for every build up. But I think we nailed it right for this because I felt great out there today. So
great. All right, thank you.
Thank you.